Arsharae, and I'm back with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button like now, not now, but right now. Why? Because you don't want to miss any of my videos. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber and you have been to my channel before, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Let's get right into it. This is the haves or the have-nots. This is the haves or the have-nots, episode 6, I believe. Nope, yes, episode 6. So basically what's going on in this episode is Jim has found out that Candace, from the last episode, Jim knows that Candace still have not given back the money that she owed, that she basically conned from him, and he wants his money back, of course. So he had Benny kidnapped, and now Candace was like, she told her mom and she told Jim that she was gonna go to the bank or try to find a phone or try to find a computer so that she could transfer the money back to Jim's account. But that's actually not true, because what's really happening here is Candace has come up with a plan with Mitch to try to get Mitch's family to save Benny, because they know the license plate and they know the people, they know the type of car that the people who took Benny were driving. So they are trying to rescue Benny, and Candace says she's gonna give Jim the money, but she wants Benny first before she gives Jim the money. Jim basically wants Hannah to beg him for Benny's life, and I don't like the fact that she's actually doing it, okay? Jim is an SOB, and he is arrogant, and I don't like it. And I don't like that Candace is actually begging this man for her child's life. Like, no, what do you, I mean, I understand that as her child, but to actually sit there and grovel and call him Mr. Jim because he's making you, like, come on, not Candace, Hannah. Come on, Hannah. You gotta be stronger than that. You're a strong black woman. Don't let this man sit here and try to make you beg him for something. Like, I just don't agree with it. I don't like it. And I know it's for entertainment, and I know it's a drama show, but I didn't like that at all. And then he's trying his best to provoke Hannah, but Hannah's not, it's not working. She's being the best Christian that she can be at this point. Instead of jumping in the hospital bed and beating the mess out of him, she's just trying to keep her composure and try to not to do anything that would cause harm to Benny. So Jim, is still hunting her. Like, once the commercial came back, Jim is still hunting her, making her call him Mr. Jim. Then he's like, oh, you need to leave, I'm tired, I will call you back when I'm ready for you. And I'm like, bro, like, who are you talking to? Hannah is good, because if it was me, baby boy, I would have shot you again, and this time I would have made sure your ass was actually dead, because you were doing too much. Wyatt and Kathyrn are still in jail. They spent the night in jail. Wyatt is still taunting Kathyrn, and he is telling her, he's asking her how did she sleep, how did she like jail, this, that, and the other. And Kathyrn's lawyer shows up, and he gets Kathyrn out of the jail cell, and Wyatt is asking why can't he get out of the jail cell, his jail cell as well. And the lawyer tells Wyatt that he's not there for him, he's there for his mother. And I was like, exactly, Wyatt, that's what you get, okay? But yeah, so Wyatt is stuck in his jail cell, and Kathyrn is talking to her lawyer. Madison takes Jeffrey home, and Jeffrey invites him in, and he invites him in, and Madison sees all the damage that Veronica has caused, because if you remember, she had some goons go to David's house and shoot up David's house. with David and Jeffrey inside because she's trying to kill David and Jeffrey. She's trying to kill her husband and her son because she's just an evil bitch. Okay, really she is. Okay, so anyways, so he was like, dang, your mom is really dangerous, because he sees all the bullet holes and everything, and he said, your mom is scary. And Jeffrey was like, yeah, she is. Madison is basically trying to tell him, you know, you need to get away from your mom, you need to get away from your dad, you just need to get away from everybody and live your life. And he was like, and Madison was like, I'm independent, you know, I've been on my own for a while. And Jeffrey was like, yeah, but how is it? And Madison was like, it gets lonely. It does get lonely, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time it feels good. And Jeffrey has basically been under his mom for so long that he doesn't know how to live on his own. So he's just still kind of trying to figure out who he is without his mom. What's his identity without working for her? What's his identity if he actually decides to go on his own? And he's actually a certified therapist, I believe, or something like that. So he could actually make money on his own without being under his mother's thumb. He just has to have the courage enough to do it. So they're talking and they're having a conversation, and Madison basically says that there's an accident and there's a casualty and he needs to go home and get some rest, but now traffic's going to be backed up, so he can't go home. See how everything is playing out here. So Jeffrey says, oh, you can stay in my room. And he's like, are you sure about that? And Madison's like, yes, I'm sure you can stay in my room. And so Jeffrey shows Madison where his room is, and Madison says, oh, I can't sleep in my scrubs. And Jeffrey was like, well, you know, get out of them, you know. And Madison scripts, and he has on no underwear. And you can tell that Jeffrey is tempted, but he doesn't like take the bait. And Madison's like, oh, you sure you don't want to join me? Just like, no, I'm not tired. And Madison keeps pushing him. He's like, you sure you want to join me? Jeffrey's like, no, I'm gonna leave. Jeffrey leaves. He closed that door. He lets out a big sigh. You know, Jeffrey was like really freaking turned on, okay? And he was just trying not to show Madison that he was turned on by what he saw. So Kathyrn is talking to her lawyer. And he tells her that Jim is alive because Kathyrn believes that Jim is dead, because if you recall, when they were both shot at, she was arrested that same night, and so she didn't get any information on Jim. But now she finds out that Jim is alive, and she's thankful that Jim is alive. But now she has other issues that she has to deal with, because her lawyer tells her, her lawyer tells her that she has an issue. First, she wants him to get her out of jail. He tells her he's doing his best, that he's working on it. She's telling him he needs to do it quicker. He's not doing it fast enough. I need to get out of here. I cannot stand it here. I cannot spend another night here. You need to get me out. I'm doing my best, Kathyrn. I'm going to get you out of jail. I'm going to do the best that I can. Boom. Okay? He says he's going to talk to the judge. He's going to talk to the DA. All right. So now he tells her that since she has been arrested for the murder of Jennifer Salison, that now she is at risk for a civil suit, and they are planning to sue her, and they could take everything that she has. So he asks her, is there anyone that she trusts that she can put all of her assets in their name? In my mind, the first thing I'm thinking is Hannah. She's gonna give everything to Hannah to hide it from the Salison family, right? So she goes on to say, Hannah, I already knew this. Your girl should be a psychic, okay? But she loves Hannah, okay? And she trusts Hannah. And he's like, your maid? And she's like, my friend? And he was like, you want to give all of your assets to your maid? And she was like, I want to give all of my assets to my friend, okay? So basically, he keeps saying, your maid. Hannah keeps reiterating, no, that is my friend. So he basically tells her, she basically tells him, put everything in Hannah's name. Okay? Put everything in Hannah's name. I trust Hannah. I trust Hannah with my life. And I need you to get her in here to talk to me, because I need to see her and I need to speak with her. And he tells her he's going to do his best to get all of that done. So now Hannah is still waiting at the hospital. She tries to reach Candace, but Candace is not answering the phone. Candace is talking to Mitch, and Benny calls her, and she tells him that she's going to transfer the money, which she's not going to transfer the money. She's just telling him that to try to buy time, because what she's actually trying to get to go down is that she's trying to get Mitch's family to find Benny and get Benny first to make sure that Benny is safe, and then she's going to give Jim the money because she doesn't trust Jim. So she wants Benny first before she turns over the money. Kathyrn's boy toy Broderick goes to the jail to try to see Kathyrn. He lies and tells the people that he's her son. And they're like, no, she can't have any visitors. You cannot see her. And he's like, well, can I leave a message? And the lady was like, this is not a hotel, okay? This is a jail. You cannot see her. You need to go. So access denied, okay? So then her lawyer overhears that Broderick is trying to see Kathyrn, so he asks him who he is to Kathyrn or whatever, and he tells him that he is just a friend of Kathyrn's. He works at her hotel. And so the lawyer says, well, can I get your information? And he was like, sure, but let me give you this number because the cell service is kind of spotty there. So he gives him the number, and the lawyer instantly recognizes. He's like, this is the number to the loft that her son purchased. So like, dun dun dun, okay, like you have sat here and you have basically given the lawyer almost something that could come back and bite you in your ass, because no one knows that you're there. And when Jim, except Kathyrn and the other guy from the hotel, I think his name is Rocky, and when Jim finds out that you're there, he's gonna kick you out quick, fast, and in a hurry if he doesn't kill you. Candace wants to go to the bank, but Mitch tells her to give his family a chance. So at this point, Candace is getting nervous. Candace is like, listen, I love my brother. I'm not trying to get my brother killed. Take me to the bank. And Mitch is like, no, just give it a second. Give my family a chance. Give us 15 more minutes and we'll find Benny. So she reluctantly agrees. Hannah keeps calling Candace, and she doesn't answer the phone. So Hannah threatens her through voicemail that she's going to call the police if she doesn't hear from Candace. So Candace calls her back, and she tells her that she's at the bank, but there's a delay, which she's lying. We all know that. And that she's going to give Jim the money, but she has to wait a little bit longer. So Wyatt is talking to George, and he expects George to get him out. Wyatt is dumb. Wyatt is an idiot. Okay, so basically he shot his parents thinking that he's gonna have immunity. That is not how immunity works. Immunity only covers the crimes that you're having immunity for. So now he has shot his parents thinking that he still has immunity, and he doesn't. So he's telling George, get me out of here, I have immunity. And George is like, that was only for the Castile case. And he's like, what are you talking about? He was like, Wyatt, you have been arrested and charged with murder, with attempted murder of your father and your mother. You really think you're about to get out of jail? You really think that you're about to? But I have immunity. Yes, you only have immunity for the Castile case. Well, I'm not going to testify against my mother. Fine. George is like, whatever. I have what I need. I have enough evidence to charge your mom. So if you don't want to testify against your mother, you lose immunity for the Castile case, and you're still going to be in jail for the attempted murder of your mother and your father. So Wyatt, and George also tells Wyatt, and George is the DA, by the way. George also tells Wyatt that he's delusional, which he is, and Wyatt has basically lost all credibility, and he is going to be in jail for a while, okay? And his parents are not going to try to help him either. At least I know Kathyrn is not. I don't know about Jim, but Kathyrn is over Wyatt. All the things she's tried to do to save him, she's over Wyatt. David makes a call to this guy named Kyle. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think Kyle is the sitting president at this moment in the show. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't remember because, like I said, I just got back into the show this season. So, anyways, they're talking in a roundabout way, saying that Jim wanted him to call about something, but they're talking about it in a roundabout way. You could tell it's like some fishy business. So he tells, basically Jim is telling him that David is telling Kyle that Jim wants to call in a favor, pretty much. So now what they're doing is they're having this conversation or whatever, and he tells him that he doesn't know if he can help Jim, but he will let him know if he can help Jim, and he'll give him a call back if he is able to help Jim out of this situation, since it's for Kathyrn. And I think they're trying to find a way to get Kathyrn out of jail, out of this whole situation. It's like I said, a bunch of fishy business. And I'm thinking he is the same person that ran the story on Candace that's trying to take Candace down. But I think at this point he's getting tired of the whole situation and he's over it. As David is getting out of the car, Veronica pulls up and she refuses to leave. They banter back and forth about the whole thing. They're going back and forth at each other. He's asking her to leave. She's telling him no, she's not going nowhere. She's on public property, because she's like, it's his driveway, then it's like a little line, and then it's her. So she's technically not on his property, but she is in front of his house, being a nuisance. So he is about to go at Veronica, but Jeffrey comes out and stops him. So Jeffrey takes him in the house, and then she starts yelling on the megaphone, "Oh, you're a weak ass man, you're a weak ass bitch." Like, she's going at it on the megaphone in this affluent neighborhood where all the neighbors can hear her. So Jeffrey gets him to go inside. And so then she sees Madison in the window. She calls Madison a bitch. She starts talking about Madison, and it's just a whole mess. So David goes into his safe to get some files to threaten Veronica with, and it's a file of incriminating evidence that incriminates all of them. It incriminates him, incriminates Veronica, incriminates Jim, incriminates Kathyrn, basically all the dirt that they have done. But he said he will risk that to save Jeffrey. And she still refuses to leave. So he makes a call to the DA, and he tells the DA, "Hey, I have some information from you. Come by my house." She still refuses to leave. So then he calls the lawyer and tells the lawyer that he needs to meet with Kathyrn, make it happen. "Hey, I got some information that could possibly get Kathyrn out of jail and get someone else in there. So please give me a call back." And Veronica is like, she just doesn't care. She's like, I got files too. So we gonna play this game? Okay, let's play this game. A hot mess. Then he walks away, and she's yelling on the megaphone that he sleeps with boys and men, and that's why he has men in and out of his house. I'm like, girl, you doing too much. And she's yelling on the megaphone, telling the neighbors to come out and look and everything, and it's just embarrassing, okay? Embarrassing. Hannah is still waiting on Candace, and while Hannah is waiting on Candace, Jim calls the bank to see if the money is in the bank, and he finds out that the money is not in the bank. And so Hannah, after he gets off the phone with the bank, Hannah runs in the room, and then that's when he makes the call and tells them to shoot Benny, and she's begging, but it's too late. You hear a gunshot, and that's the end of the episode. But yeah, that's it for this episode of The Haves and the Have-Nots. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already done so. And if no one else tells you that they love you, Arsharae loves you. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.